France tonight after days of protest over the fatal shooting of a teenager by police. The 17-year-old was killed on Tuesday in a Paris suburb during a traffic stop. The officer who fired the shot has been charged now with voluntary homicide. And today, a memorial march led by the victim's mother also ended with violence. 40,000 police are now on alert across the country.
17-year-old Nail's mother led a fired-up crowd in what started as a peaceful protest for her son. But simmering tensions boiled over as people threw projectiles at police who used tear gas. The vigil turning to vandalism for some as cars were again set alight. It's the third day of unrest over Nail's killing. While the officer who shot him has now been charged, some say the problem goes much deeper.
We live in France, which is supposed to mean equality, freedom, fraternity.
Right, Shalom, giving all praise unto Bashim Hashai, Bashim Kohakodash, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and honor your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is going to be a relatively quick video, based upon the video that you've just seen on the news channel there, going into the current process that we see in France right now, which, you know, it's about police brutality, racism, and profiling, etc., etc. You know, it was explained for you within the excerpt. So I'm going to take this video from the perspective of that's just a sign of things to come, right? So it's going to get worse. You could even say this is predictive programming, and it's setting up the people for the inevitable, which is going to be a fulfillment of the scriptures. The scripture talks about how they're not going to regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their way. So that rioting, that looting, that's going to spread out there throughout the four corners of the earth, especially when there ain't no food. There's not going to be any food. The scripture talks about a great famine. That's the book of Mark, the 13th chapter. Also to the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, speaks about famine within the end times. Speaks about a lack of resources within the end times. So what do you think these people are going to do when they don't have anything? They're going to have to. They're going to go out there and riot. Okay? And as a result, because this is why we say it's all planned out. Because what do we know from what Esau wants to do? Esau wants to bring out the martial law troops, and Esau wants what's known as a police state. He wants that total control, but they operate off of the back of something that's known as order out of chaos. So what's the order that they want? They want the order that we see in movies such as Equilibrium. What other movies come to mind? Demolition Man. All of these movies that depict the so-called future of the NWO, where Esau wants to establish his enterprise throughout the four corners of the earth, depict a dystopian Orwellian future wherewith the powers that be have got total and complete control over every facet of life, meaning to say he was going to have very, very, very little freedom, if any freedom at all. But in order to be able to get to that point, they set up particular situations that may look organic on the surface of it. Okay, you got situations out here that play out that look organic on the surface of it, but the reality of the situation is that it's not. It's what's known as crisis actors. It's what's known as crisis actors. Like when you had that particular guy, you know, the adult film star that so-called got killed, George Floyd, right? You have crisis actor. Like the whole thing was probably set up to evoke emotion amongst the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans to turn them away from the Lord. Because remember what was lifted up as a result of that? It wasn't the Israelite history. It wasn't the Israelites, your real heritage. It was black liars, right? That was what was lifted up. So you always have to look at these situations from the perspective of who has something to gain from these situations. And Esau always got something to gain from these particular situations because he's dealing with chaos. He's dealing with chaos. Okay, he's dealing with chaos. So you got to be skeptical when you see these things. Now, I'm not saying yay or nay as to the situation that played out, but what I'm saying is you got to be circumspect, like the scripture saith, because we know the devil was going to come down having great wrath, and lo and behold, right, France has been overturned. Right, France is a boil of fire right now, which we know that the elites want. Right, which we know that the elite want, But they think they're gonna do that out of their own hand. But we understand from the scriptures, it's through the Most High that puts it within their spirit to do those particular things. So let's go straight to the point. Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, and the 15th verse, 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, their seed shall fail, through the blasting and the hail, and the fearful constellation, all to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay, so the famine is going to come, and when the famine comes, this is what's going to happen. For the sword and destruction doeth nigh, and one people shall stand up against another with swords in their hand, and they shall be sedition, which means civil unrest among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And one of the articles that I'd read, that pretty much said that these, one of the governors or one of the top ministers out there, government officials out there, his house basically got raided. Right, his house got raided. So that's the fulfillment of that scripture. But that's a small scale. That's a small scale. Okay, that's the small scale. It's gonna go loud out there, Babylon, England. It's gonna be unleashed, man. Right, this wrath for the Lord is gonna be unleashed. This sedition from the Lord is gonna be unleashed because of the pride of the cities. And lo and behold, we're in so-called Pride Month, right? So, you understand why the Most High is bringing the sedition out, and it's not gonna stop with the sedition. When Esau influences the people to go out there and riot, then he's gonna come with more wrath. That's how the game goes. Okay, that's how the game goes. That's how the game goes. The game goes that Esau raised the stakes so he can raise the stakes so he can really bring about the order that he wants. But it's all the Most High that's working through the red Hebrew Edomite, right? A man shall desire to go into a city, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Because look at the 16th verse. Here it is. You're doing whatever you want to inflict your wrath upon the government, right? Sedition among men. But guess what? How is the government? And this is the thing about the scriptures. You got to really read the scriptures with your spiritual mind open, because there isn't a 16.5 verse. Okay, there's no 16.5. Second Ezra 16.5. But if the scripture says they shall be sedition among men, invading one another, but then it goes on and it says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. What's that saying? What's happening in between? That means to say Esau's going to come down having great wrath. The military troops are going to come out there and lock off France. And that's going to be the same thing across these different countries, these so-called westernized countries, when the pound sterling is no more. And that's a very, very near future. Right? That's a very, very near future. When you ain't got no food in your fridge, that's a very, very near future. Right? When the dollar collapses, that's a very, very near future. When you ain't got no food in your fridge, it's a very, very near future. You're going to go out there, you're going to not regard your kings or princes, but the reality of the situation is it's the elite banking families that's in control of both the pressure and the release. And the release valve that they're going to give you is what? Go back into your houses, right? We're going to get these drones and they're going to drop off the food. Right, we're going to get these drones and they're going to drop off the food, man. That's it. All right, you got 1 hour of exercise a day. And they really trialed these things and people were so crazy, right? Because they got the free money that they was happy. Okay, they was happy because they was sitting at home getting the free money, but you didn't realize the whole way of living was changed, man. Man shall desire to go into a city. We experienced that and shall not be able to, because of the pride of the cities, because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. That's what's coming, man. Right, a man shall not have no pity upon his neighbors, burning cars, all of that, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. So hopefully that was a verification, man. That's what's coming out here, man. This place is done. It's through. And, these riots are really a sign of future things to come. Yahweh Shema Shai Raza. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say, praise unto Yahweh Shema Shai, Bachim Kwahakudash, double honors unto the apostles of great millstone. I'm supposed to be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.